Hello everyone, my name is Brian Reyes and today my presentation is going to be my lab 3 and my first hack, your first hack part 2. The objectives for this presentation is to gain root access to Creoptix 1 machine, mitigation technique summary, describe different attacks, buffer overflow, privilege escalation, rootkits, trojans, backdoors, viruses, return-oriented programming, common social engineering attacks. Identify the first thing when I cracked Keyoptrix 1 was to identify Samba SMB version. I opened the MSF console, then used the command auxiliary scanner SMB version. Then I set the R host to target the IP, which was 192.168.56.106. That was a Keyoptrix IP address. Then enter the run command. Then was when I was able to determine the version of Samba, which was 2.2.1a. I then went into the web browser and searched for the Samba version of 2.2.1a, and then I found the code execution, which I copied the whole code with Control A. And once I copy and I saw the raw exploit code source, I copy and paste the raw code into the root in Kali, and then I put the command b10.c. After I did that, I ran the command gcc10.c-o10. After running it, it worked with no errors, and also ran ./10. Then I did a brute force attack on the Keyoptrix, and it worked, as you can see in the screenshots. Then I added the username, my username and password to Keyoptrix, which I did the command usr/sbin/user/add/ou 0-g 0 Reyes, and then it prompted me for the password, which was I just added 1234556 an example, and I was able to get into the Keyoptrix. As you can see in this slide, my login is my last name, and it asked me for the password. I entered the password, and it says I was logged in on Monday, October 12th, and that was a successful login. Mitigation techniques to secure IT systems from privilege escalation. Implement least privilege. Only give employees permission to do their job duties. Regular patching and updating IT systems. IT systems up to date to mitigate any risk. Use strong passwords, complex passwords, one letter, one number, and one special character. Change passwords every 90 days. Implement access control. I recommend to use a role-based access control. Also monitor and audit logs, implement IDS and IPS, and look for suspicious traffic would send triggers to the IT team through email. Also implement multi-factor authentication, which could be Google Authentication, security question, text, or a phone call. Buffer overflow is an attack that exploits a vulnerability in the memory when more data is being stored in the RAM than it can hold. This can cause the excess data to overwrite adjacent memory location, causing the computer system to crash. Hackers inject malicious code to the memory to take control of the program or the computer system. Privilege escalation is when a hacker gains higher level access to IT systems. This is caused when the user has admin rights and the attacker takes advantage of those rights to navigate through the IT systems to modify, delete, or steal valuable sensitive data. Rootkits. A rootkit is a malware that hides in its presence from the security system set in place like an advanced persistence threat. Rootkits are installed through social engineering mechanisms or by exploiting vulnerabilities in an unpatched systems and the OS or software. Rootkits will stay in the operating system or kernel to modify network traffic and computer system activity. A Trojan is a type of malware that masquerades as a legitimate program or software update to trick users into downloading and installing. Once installed, a Trojan can perform a variety of malicious actions, including stealing data, installing other malware, or giving the attacker remote control over the compromised computer system. This attack can be categorized as a type of social engineering attack. Backdoors. A backdoor is a type of program or vulnerability that allows an attacker to bypass normal authentication and gain access to a system or network. Backdoors can be installed by an attacker, or they can be intentionally added by a software developer for maintenance or troubleshooting purposes. This attack can be categorized as a type of access control attack. Viruses. A virus is a type of malware that spreads by attaching itself to a legitimate program or file and replicating when the program is executed. Viruses can cause a variety of malicious actions, including stealing data, damaging files, or taking control of compromised systems. This attack is categorized as a malware attack. Return-oriented programming. Return-oriented programming is a type of computer exploit technique that involves chaining together small pieces of executable code called gadgets that are already present in the program's memory to execute arbitrary code or bypass security mechanisms. The attacker does not inject new code into the program's memory. Instead, they use existing fragments such as return statements of existing functions to execute malicious code. By manipulating the program stack and overriding return addresses, the attacker can redirect program execution to a series of gadgets that perform specific operations such as loading data into registers, performing arithmetic operations, or making system calls. Common social engineering attacks, which includes phishing, spear phishing, pretexting, baiting, and tailgating. Phishing sends malicious email or text messages, comes from trusted source, contains malware in the link or that's attached in the PDF. Spear phishing is more targeted to the individual and the organization, sends messages appearing from someone he knows. Pretexting attacker calls pretend to be from help desk and makes users to reveal his password. Baiting leaves USB in the parking lot that contains malware. Tailgating attacker follows authorized user into restricted areas. And this is it for my end presentation. Thank you.